Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, let's talk about the very best and the worst SLGs from Louis Vuitton. SLGs are, of course, small leather goods, and some of them from Louis Vuitton I absolutely think are worth your money. Some of them, not so much. But before we get into that analysis, let me share with you the beautiful jewellery that I am wearing in today's video, and that is from one of my absolutely favourite brands, Idyl. Idyl specialise in producing sustainable lab-grown diamonds. Being able to pick and put together the pieces of jewellery that I want to wear allows me to express myself, and Idyl let me do that because they have a modular concept where you can put together the pieces that work for you. For example, I will very rarely be wearing two matching earrings. That's something just that works for me, and I can have separate pieces put together to achieve this look. So this stud will form the base, and then you can add to that any of their add-ons. I went through a very long period of time wearing this eye consistently, and I'm sure that's not the proper name for it. I am back to wearing this, which is one of the very first pieces that I ever bought from Idyl, and for it still to look like this shows the quality of the material they're using. And it goes with this, and I think that contrast is just fabulous. I'm also wearing the solo diamond on my neck, and I wear this basically every single day. Every package is put together in-house. Everything is done in-house. Every card is handwritten, every bow is hand-tied, and because of the ethos of the company, they have built a company that is 90% women, that is empowering women to be able to wear the pieces that allow them to express themselves, but they're also building that up and empowering them from within their own workforce. And I can't say enough good things about this company. Let me share with you and unbox with you the beautiful new piece that they sent to me for my 10-year wedding anniversary. And this is what I'm talking about. This company is just not a faceless corporate entity that doesn't care about the people that they're working with or they're selling to, or the diamonds that they're selling out. Every diamond before it comes to you passes through 9 pairs of hands to make sure it's the quality that they want to reach. They run a loyalty scheme on their site. So as if you are buying their diamonds, you are gathering points up as you go, and you can use those points as money off your next purchase. They run promotions through the year where they do discounts, so make sure you go through the link down below and sign up to the newsletter, or click on the link so as that you are kept up to date with whatever discounts and promotions that they are running. Their jewellery comes to you in one of their own boxes, and it will say on the top of it, "Welcome to the Diamond Revolution." I'm all about the Diamond Revolution. Put more of them on me. I have never been someone who subscribes to less is more. Let's get into this. They have my little handwritten card, which will come with every order that they send out. Open the Idyl sticker, and in here is how your package will arrive. They will throughout the year also send free goodies with your packages, and I can already tell that one is in here. That is stunning. If you watched my recent fine jewellery wishlist video, I had this firmly on my wish list, and Idyl reached out to me and said, for your anniversary, let us send that to you. That is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at the diamonds on this. Look how sparkly it is. Look how striking it is. This piece will go in your ear. This actually, I'm going to put this on. This will come along the side of your ear, and then you will have this cuff to go around your ear. I think this is absolutely beautiful, and I can already tell you, I wouldn't want to know the price of this if it was mined diamonds from the jeweler. I know that it would absolutely price me out. Oh my goodness, I'm in love with that. Look how dramatic and fabulous that ear is. I am in love with it. This is modular as well, so this is one of their diamond studs, and then this piece is an add-on, so you could put that with any stud in your ear, and I've kept the cuff up here because this one goes halfway, and I just love that. I'm keeping that on. I hadn't actually planned to put that on in the middle of a video, but wow. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Thank you so much to Idyl for sponsoring this part of the video, and I will leave all of the links that you need in the description box. Go and check them out. They are absolutely fabulous. Genuinely everyday pieces of jewellery for me, and I cannot recommend this brand enough. Now that we have looked at the shiny and the sparkly and the new, let's talk about the very best and the very worst of SLGs from Louis Vuitton, and let's start off on a positive note, and one of the tried and tested old faithful most loved pieces from Louis Vuitton until they started making the prices crazy was of course the mini Pochette, and this is a piece that a lot of people absolutely love and adore, and for good reason, because it is a very, very good SLG. The only reason I kind of fell out of love with this for a while, and I did tell you about that, was the price. This is now over $700. Although before you couldn't get it online, you couldn't get it in store, it was never available and resellers were selling these for stupid amounts of money. Louis Vuitton caught on to that, put the prices up, but by doing so they are at least now accessible. And although the price is very high, as per today's luxury prices, I still think this is one of the best SLGs Louis Vuitton have ever made. I think that it's a great mini catch-all for bags. This is obviously one of the limited editions. This would cost you more than what a standard canvas one would. But I think for mini catch-all in your bag, putting everything in, keeping it together, great piece, but also to wear by yourself. I used to think, and I have my phone here, but I used to think that you couldn't get your phone into this until one of you guys educated me that if you take your phone cover off and you have the equivalent of an iPhone Pro, not the Max, but the Pro, this will fit in. Now, it's not the easiest to get in and out, but it does fit. And this has made this piece a lot more valuable, I suppose, to me, and a lot more worth that dollar amount, because you can now wear this as a mini handbag. I will take this on holiday because when we go on holiday, I don't carry a lot whenever we're out at night. I have a chain that I bought aftermarket to put across it, so as this will be able to go crossbody on me, or you can just carry it like this. I can get my phone in it, I can get a lip gloss in it, I can get my card in it, and that's all that I will need. And even with the ridiculous price, because of the price of everything else, it's become ridiculous. I still think that this is one of the best that they have because it has so many uses and there's so many ways to use it. You can take the chain off this. This is the chain that it comes with. This can easily be taken off and attached to the other side, and you can wear this like a wristlet. There are so many uses for this. Just about at this price, I still think one of the best. One of the worst, in my opinion, is a piece that I did have and I no longer have because it annoyed me so much and I found it so hard to get along with, and that is the Victorine wallet. I thought this wallet was going to revolutionise my life. I thought it was going to be fabulous. I thought that it was going to be my everyday wallet, so much so that I got my husband and my children to buy it for me for Mother's Day, and parting with this was hard for me because of the sentimental attachment to it, but I realised that it drove me nuts. I really hated it. I didn't like it, I didn't use it, and it sat on a shelf. The reason that I found this so difficult to use is it is so tight, and the card slots inside are so tight to get your cards in and out of. The zipper compartment for the cash to go is so tight to get anything in and out of. The button, I had the Rose Ballerine, the light pink in it. You could see the button had the potential to wear, as most Louis Vuitton buttons do. And I just thought, for a wallet that's annoying me that much, the only bit that was easy to use was the flat section along the back to put your cash in. Everything else was frustrating and annoying, and you can tell I really didn't like that one. And I do think this is one of the worst SLGs from Louis Vuitton. Now, some of you guys did tell me in the comment box that the en pointe leather version is much better and much easier to use. It will, of course, be more expensive, but that is an option. Somebody else did say they liked it because the card slots were so tight and it meant everything was secure. But for me, it was just so difficult and frustrating to use, and it just, no. Number 2 of the best SLGs is a piece I actually don't have, but I have not ruled it out in my future as if I need more SLGs, but it is the Lisa wallet, and I fell in love with this when Meredith had it in New York. This is a very, very slimline wallet, so if you want to be able to have a bit more capacity than a card holder, you want to get some cards in, some cash in, but still for it to fit easily into mini bags, and I saw how Meredith used this in New York. This is really, really fabulous piece. It's a really easy to use, slim line, not going to take up much space, but for the size of it, it packed a punch in what it could carry, and I know that Meredith takes this with her every time she travels, and out of the collection of SLGs that Meredith has, that is speaking very highly as to the benefit and the fabulousness of this little piece. So I think high on my list, and very much so on the best SLGs from Louis Vuitton, is the Lisa wallet. Second of the worst SLGs, and I'm gonna just say it, it's the passport holder. Now, I have one in my hand, so obviously I bought it. And I still love it because I love this Vivian print on it. I love Vivian. I do take this with me when I travel. I love the pink in the inside. I think the colour of this is fabulous and striking. But let's be honest, it's pretty useless. Let's just call it what it is. When you take this to the airport and you have your passport in it, When you go to passport control or to check in or whatever you're doing, you take your passport out of it and you hand your passport over. They don't want it in this cute little cover. They want your actual passport. So I bring this because I like it and I want to carry it and I want to use it, but it's a bit of a pain at the airport because you have to take your passport out. One thing I will say that it's useful for is it does have card slots and you can put some cash in. So you can make this work for other things. But when I was going to New York recently, I had some cash in it. And when I was going through immigration, the immigration official went with my cash because it shouldn't have been in the passport that I was handing over to him. He then took the passport out of the wallet and handed the whole thing back. And it just made me think, really? They're expensive, they're beautiful, yes, you can put your card slots in, but they're definitely not one of the best SLGs from Louis Vuitton. I bought this because I wanted it in my collection and I like the look of it, but if we're looking about practical pieces that you get a lot of use for your money, not so much. Number 3 of the best SLGs is the card holder, and I know that I've just said the Lisa wallet holds a little bit more than this, and of course it does, but this is even thinner. So if you want a very, very thin piece to just carry a couple of your cards, and I have often stuffed cash in here and probably other things in here because I bulk out my SLGs, probably beyond what you should. I think these are actually really handy and I will always have one of these in my collection to just put into very slim bags. If you're using the Petite Mal, for example, the Lisa wallet is still going to take up too much space in that if you also want your phone and your lip gloss and maybe a key, because it is such a Tetrisy, not an overly easy to use bag. Whereas something like this for bags like that or very, very mini or nano bags, I don't think you can beat. So I do think the card holders from Louis Vuitton are one of their best pieces. I've had this for years. There has been no issues with it, no chipping, no cracking. I do stuff it. It hasn't stretched overly, really stood up to very heavy use. One of the best. One of the worst, it's the Nice Nano. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate down the camera for this, but this is useless. Did I say that out loud? It's not useless in that it's very pretty. And when I bought this for decor. So if you buy this for decor, then yes, it's beautiful, it's fabulous, and it looks great where I set it. But it doesn't hold very much. If you're going to carry it in your bags as a catch-all, you're going to need to bring the Neverfull or something so as you can set that in and it's got lots of space around it. It's not made to be carried in your bags with all of your things. And it doesn't hold the most amount. It's very cute, it looks great. I love it because I'm crazy and I buy Louis Vuitton pieces as decor. So if you're on board with buying Louis Vuitton for that, then yes, absolutely. If you're looking for an actual functional Louis Vuitton piece, not so much. I have one of the, I think that's from Samorga organisers in mine, and I will show you how I use mine. I have lip glosses and lipsticks in it. It needed the Samorga organiser or any organiser to keep it in shape and make it a little bit easier to get them in and out. And it does hold these beautifully. It does a fabulous job at that. But that's about much of what it's doing. I have before taken out the organiser and put SLGs in it, and it will hold your card holders for you. So that is another good use for it. But on the whole, if we look at the size of it, if we look at the price of it, unless you want it to hold your lip glosses or hold your card holder collection, it's not very much use and it's a lot of money. And as much as I love it and have no regrets and think it's great decor, and if you're buying it for that reason, absolutely. But it's one of their worst. Number 4 of the best SLGs from Louis Vuitton is the Recto Verso. I still love this. I have a whole video on this. I have a review on this if you're interested in this. I actually have a video reviewing different card holders from Louis Vuitton. So if you're looking for one of them, check that out. It'll give you more detail, but I think this is great. This, I did have to get my glazing replaced just for full disclosure. Louis Vuitton did it free of charge. I have, if you look in that previous video, stuffed this thing within an inch of its life. I have really put it to the test because I am not careful and I don't empty out my card holders often enough. You have the card slots down the back. You have this little pouch on the front. You have this slip bit in here, and you have the zip which goes down the side, which gives it a wider opening along with this gusset. And it also has one of the keychains inside if you wanted to hang this in your bag or hang it on your belt loop. I think it's great. I know that they're not inexpensive, But for everything that I was able to fit in this and how often I used it, I think it's one of the best pieces from Louis Vuitton. I also bought this for about $6 or $7 on Amazon. You link it onto there and it gives you a little wristlet. You can get whatever colour you want. You could get a pearl one, whatever, and it gives this, it actually made this like a mini bag. So quite often when I was using this in work, all I did when I was going out at lunch was take this. And I didn't have to worry about anything else, and I had everything in there that I needed. I think this is great and one of the best SLGs of all time from Louis Vuitton. Number 4 of the worst SLGs or small leather goods are the phone covers. What are we doing? We change our phones very, very often, and the phone covers from Louis Vuitton are very expensive, and unless you have lots of money to buy a new accessory for your phone every time you change your phone, this is one of the worst SLGs from Louis Vuitton. There are so many better options in that store to put your money to, unless money's no object and you can buy whatever you want and buy everything. There are so many better options of pieces you could buy than the phone cover, unless you're okay with buying one every year, every other year. Because yes, of course, it would be lovely whenever we lift our phones out because our phone is always in our hand. And I see the rationale behind this. Our phone is always being carried. I use my phone for Apple Pay now. So if it was in a Louis Vuitton case, it would almost be like having a Louis Vuitton purse with you all the time because it's around your phone. And I get that. And I think that's great thinking and it would look great. But I would have to buy one every time I upgraded my phone because they change the phone, they change the camera, they change the size, even if it's slightly. I just think for me that makes it one of the worst because it has such a limited life use for the price that they are. Can't be one of the best. 5th best I think is the key pouch. I still love this, and this is one of the old faithful ride or dies that everyone has had for 55 million years. I think it's a great mini catch-all in your bag. I take this one to work every day. It has wire headphones in it. I still have those. I have AirPods, but I always carry those just in case because I will be on a lot of calls for work. I will often need headphones in and I don't want my other ones to run out of battery or something and I'm stuck. I have a bank fob in there. I have keys in there. I actually use it for what it's meant to be used for. I have keys in there. I have spare contact lenses in there. I have a spare glasses wipe in there. And it also has one of these key holders that you could put this on your bag, put it on your belt loop, use it as a bag charm with the new trend that's very hot at the moment, but without spending any additional money. And if you're using this either for keys or as a mini catch-all in your bag, I think it's a great, great piece. And this gets daily use from me. What I will say is I also have the Damier Rabin version and I have a limited edition version. The limited edition version I bought as decor, so we're not going to worry about that one. The Damier Rabin one I used to use quite regularly as a euro coin purse. But since lockdown, we don't use coins that much anymore. So I don't know if you need multiples of these. Certainly my Damier Rabin one is now very rarely used, but one of them, great. Number 5 on the worst SLGs, and some of you may disagree with this, is the Kirigami pouches. I just can't get on board with those. What do you use them for? They're so structured like an envelope that maybe it's because I am not careful and stuff things in. But when I look at, for example, the daily pouch and you could put all of your receipts and papers and things in that, it's more malleable and it's more flexible. The Kirigami just seems to be quite structured. The small, tiny one, potentially for cards, and it's like a little envelope. The middle one and the bigger one, I've run out of ideas of what I'm going to use it for. It is nice that you get 3 pouches, and I do like that they bring them out in limited editions and they bring them out with nice colours in the inside, but that's not a reason, Amelia, to buy things. So I'm just not really sure what they would be used for. And I'm a stationery addict and a stationery freak. So even I struggle to see what I would use those for, and I just don't think they're one of the best options. And one of the best, in contrast to that of the Kirigami, is the new Trio toiletry set. Now this is not the new Trio toiletry set because they come in prettier colours on the inside, but I'm not buying a whole new set just for that. These are the same toiletries from when they sold them individually. And this is the 26, the 19 and the 15. This is also used every day in my bag for work. In there you will see lots of tablets because I get the migraines, and there's a little bank calculator, and there's hand cream, and there's other bits and pieces. This comes every day in the Never Full. This goes every time we go on holiday. This is where my toiletries will go. This one is probably the least used, is the 19. This is used a bit of an overflow. So if I have additional perfumes or something going on holiday, or I have used this when I've been very organised, which is not that often, and put my cables, because I do carry a tablet to work, laptop to work, phones to work, power packs, those sorts of things. So I've had the power pack and the cables in here, and it does keep it very well together in my Neverfull. Actually, why did I stop doing that? I probably took it out once and forgot to put it back in. So it does have a use for that. For the price of these as the Toiletry Trio, if you don't have these already, I think this is fabulous. These are all great pieces individually. The price I don't think is bad for all three, and if I didn't have these, I would be buying that Toiletry Trio without a second thought. Number 6 on the worst SLGs, and I can hear it before I say it, but it's the Cosmetic pouch. Now wait, I absolutely love this. This is the flight mode. Bestie bought this for me. I love the fabric of this. I love the print. I do love this. I think it's very, very beautiful. And I think that as a little toiletry pouch in my Neverfull, it's fabulous. But I'm going to be honest with you in the video, because that's kind of the way I do things. Having now used this, I took this to Paris with me. I took this, no, I didn't have this for New York. I definitely took it to Paris. Having used this versus using the mini Pochette and versus using the Toiletry 15, they're better. If it's for using for toiletries and using for makeup, they're better pieces, and they're better pieces because of the shape. This one got more bent and pushed about in my luggage because it's not lying flat. The corners on this, because they are one piece of fabric folded, I think will wear worse than the corners, for example, on the Toiletry 15. This Toiletry 15 has been through the mill, used every single day, thrown in and out of every bag, every time I go on holiday, and as we've established, I'm not careful. This has been through the mill. This won't stand up to the same use that this stands up. This will start to show wear quicker. You'll show wear on the corners. I could, just from having used it in Paris, even the way it came from the suitcase, putting it, trying to fill it back out, this is not one of their best pieces. If you want to practically use it as a cosmetic pouch or a toiletry pouch, one of these, in my opinion, is much better. Number 7 of the best, after having given the Nice Nano some hate, let's give the Nice Mini some love. Love this. Mine's disgusting because it's you. Oh, there's a mirror shining at you. Oh, there's an Idyl mirror in my, this is an, as I said, it would not be an Amelia video if I didn't drop something on the floor. As I was saying, Idyl will send out through the years gifts with their purchases, and this is an Idyl mirror that they've sent me some time ago. You can see the makeup all over this because it lives in my makeup bag for when I'm getting ready, but that's in the back, and I'll turn it around so as it doesn't blind you. I have an organizer in this as well, so as all of my makeup stays in this. I am not somebody who is a makeup enthusiast. I don't look after my brushes properly. I don't look after my makeup properly. This is stinking. There's makeup all over it. It's not recommending me to my best. It's not showing me my best light is what I'm trying to say. But as a piece, if you have the space for this to sit for all of your makeup and you're not someone that has a huge makeup collection, this is fabulous. This sits on my desk. I've had this for years. It's one of the pieces that I was most excited to get. I couldn't wait to get this, to put an organizer. I give up with myself and it landed on my iPad screen. Fabulous. But I couldn't wait to get this, put an organizer in it, get all of my makeup in it. It takes so much abuse. If I was so minded, I could take that organizer out, wash it and clean this up. You can see the makeup all over mine. It gets that daily use. I definitely could clean this up. I could get the cleaner on all of that makeup that's on that. Yes, it's all stained. I see it. But I don't because I leave it and it sits and it gets used and there's makeup and powder all over it. And I think as SLGs go, if I could speak, from Louis Vuitton, this is one of the best. The only thing I will say against it is I don't take this on holiday because it takes up too much space in your suitcase. If you're going on a weekend trip though in the car, you can put everything in this and just zip it up and take it with you. I do that, and I just carry this with me then. And everybody in the hotel reception goes, could she clean that? But anyway, I carry this with me with all of my makeup and just set it down when we get to the hotel. Suitcase, not so much because of the size. Number 7 on the worst SLGs, and this is one that used to be a firm favourite and get a lot of love, but it's the round coin purse. And I think since lockdown, since we no longer use cash so much, this has kind of lost its use a bit. Now, I still have some coins in mine. I have Band-Aids in mine, and I have Euro coins actually in mine. And yes, I still have those. We do have toll bridges going into Dublin, so I will still use these Euro coins for the toll bridge. But it doesn't get anywhere near the use that it used to. It stays in my bag and basically is just there to be there. I used to also carry spare headphones in it, but I don't really now. I have the ones I showed you in the key pouch. I used to put my AirPods in this, but then I could never find them and I forgot they were in it. So now I just leave my AirPods in the AirPod case in the bag because then I see them and I'm not hunting about like a mad thing. So I kind of think this is a bit surplus to requirements now. And I don't really think it's one of the best anymore. I think it's probably one of the worst now. And the last on the positive best side of the SLGs from Louis Vuitton, and it is the key holder. I have the 4-ring key holder. I have given my husband the keys to my office, so I don't have it here, but I still think this is a great piece. I have my office keys on this. It keeps them, I know where they are. It keeps them in line. They don't scratch the inside of my bags. I am throwing them into bags regular. I'm not worried about the keys hitting anything else. I'm not worried about the keys getting tangled in anything. And I just still think these are great pieces if you still use keys. And I certainly do. I know some people have now gone all cardless and contactless, but for our house and our office and everything, we've keys. So I still think either the 6-ring or the 4-ring key holder is a really good SLG from Louis Vuitton. I prefer to use this for my keys than the key pouch. I use the key pouch more as a mini catch-all, but the key holder for the actual keys I think is better, and that's my preferred one. The 4-ring works for me because I don't have more than 4 keys. If you need a bit more, you can use the 6-ring and you can put a credit card down the back of it, and actually that's going to give you dual purpose for that. So I still think that these are really good pieces, even in this digital era. Certainly I use enough physical keys to still make this one of the best. And the last on one of the worst SLGs, and I kept this to last because I know that I'm going to get a little bit of hate on it. And it's one of my favourite pieces from Louis Vuitton, but it's the agenda. And I think it's one of the worst SLGs from Louis Vuitton for a specific reason. I think this only works, and is only one of the best pieces, only works at all, if you're someone who is already a stationery lover. So if you already write things down, if you already use pen and paper and notebooks and an agenda, I think then, yes, this is a great piece for you. And that's my caveat to this, because this is a great piece for me, because I have always been a stationery geek. But if you're someone who uses your phone, has a watch that beeps and talks to you, has one of these and uses one of these regularly like I do, but I write enough that I use my iPad, I use this, I use a diary, a leather-bound diary, I use notebooks, I use a lot of paper. I love it though. And I think this is something that there is a real risk that people see us talking about or see somebody carrying and think that looks great, because it does look great. But I think a lot of people would fall into the trap of buying this and it's not going to be useful for them because they don't write things down and they don't write every day or every week. They use their phones, they use their electronic diaries, and this, yes, looks great to be carried about, but doesn't become useful because that's just not already in their routine. And I don't think just because you buy one of these and suddenly set it up and it looks great and everything's in it and it's beautiful, I don't think that's going to be enough to make you suddenly write and use an actual agenda and use actual diary entries that are pen and paper. And I think that's why this falls into one of the worst, because I think there's a real risk that a lot of people are going to buy the agendas or the notebook covers because they look good and think they look like great stationery pieces or great corporate pieces to take to work or to have on your desk. But they're never actually going to use them because so many people use electronics instead of now the old-fashioned pen and paper. So if you're someone that already writes, yes, then this is not one of the worst, it's one of the best. I've no regrets in this. Love it, use it all the time. But if you're someone who's a bit more technical and doesn't really write that much, I think this has a real potential to be a huge waste of money. So those are the 8 best and worst Louis Vuitton SLGs in my opinion. Let me know what you think of these. Are there any that you agree or any that you really strongly disagree with and think I have lost my mind and I'm talking absolute nonsense? Let me know what you think in the comment box. And thank you so much to Idyl for sponsoring the first part of the video. I'm going to leave all of their links down below in the description box. I just love this. Look how fabulous that is. Let's take a moment to pose. I think it's stunning. I think they're beautiful. Their pieces, as I say, totally stand the test of time. They're very high quality. They're accessible price point and they're a brilliant company. I will leave all the details for you down below in the description box. Click through those. Make sure if you're purchasing you get your loyalty points and sign up to the newsletter so as you know whenever there's any deals or anything coming, and that could work out really well for you. So thank you again to Idyl for sponsoring that part of the video. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it in any way or thought it was useful, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care and I will see you again in the next one.